Shalom, y'all. This part 2. And yeah, Esau was acting a damn fool. Let's see what it is on this one, alright? Cause Esau, he tired of Jake, but Jake Jake don't give a fuck.
Last Happy holidays. You be alright.
So he called him a nigger, you know. Esau called Jake that, so I'm guessing Jake threw the snowball at him.
Snowball.
What the fuck? You threw a snowball at me!
Yeah, I did.
Why?
Because you called me a pickaninny.
You're a fucking spear chucker.
I'm a spear chucker?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a snowball thrower. And you got spit all over your mouth.
You're reverse racist.
Reverse racist?
Yeah.
And I
What does that
showed
mean?
This video.
You're using my race against me.
Not really.
Fuck you, I don't want to deal with this bullshit.
Alright, have a good day.
What's your name anyway?
None of your business.
Dipshit.
Last name business.
Now I wanted to show this because from the young to the old, Esau is wicked towards Jake. You know, although it seems like Jake is the antagonist in this video, we all know that Jake don't never just come and do some shit like this to a Edomite. You know, there had to be something that they did. Not to say that a 2/3 won't just get the fucking with him, but, you know, we know that Esau is the antagonist anyway. But anyway, because clearly by him throwing the snowball, he had to call Jake. As he said in the caption, this old man called me a nigger. So, with the hard ER. But let's move on from here. Let's go on to the next one. I believe that's it on this. This is another video. I think is
move. I left it at the house. I'm placing. Look at him.
Use your key fob.
Move. I left it at the house.
Then don't go in.
Nope, I'm calling my parents. Move.
Then call your parents.
Get off of me. Get off.
As I said before, the antagonist, right? But anyway, and then in that one video where the Jake called the Salakia, it looked like a Moabite called Jake a nigga in the hospital. This is why I grabbed this Psalms 83, just so, you know, the Jakes out there know who their enemies are, because, you know, people just say that the so-called white man is the enemy only, and it's like, nah, we got multiple of enemies. All these other nations that's in the world that's other than Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they are the enemy if they are not of our people. All right, they all had a hand in the downfall of Jake. So it says, I'm going to start at verse 2 to Psalms 83 and 2. See how your enemies rage, how your foes have reared their heads. With cunning they scheme against your people and conspire against those you cherish. This is in the... I'm not sure what version of this in the BSB. Oh, the Berean Standard Bible, okay. I was wondering, I'm like, man, this read a little different. But I'm gonna keep going though, cause it's kind of hidden though. So Psalms 83 and 2, it says, "See how your enemies rage, how your foes have reared their heads. With cunning they scheme against your people and conspire against those you cherish." Right, saying, "Come, let us erase them as a nation. May the name of Israel be remembered no more. For with one mind they plot together." And this is what I meant, because they're all on one accord with all of this wickedness. The state that Jake in right now is due to them. All right. You know how they said back when you were growing up, you were in probably middle school, and they started teaching you about, your social studies and history, how they said the starting of America, when it was like all these other nations came over here. America is a melting pot mixed with a lot of different nations, and they all came and they all established themselves and all that. These people, they was in alliance with each other, and that's why they're able to come over here and start businesses right away and become successful, while Jake is in the same position, right? The strangers among us is gonna get higher and higher, while we stay lower, and or we get lower and lower. That's in that Deuteronomy. Let me see. Bible. I believe that's Deuteronomy 28 and 43. So just Deuteronomy 28 and 43. And it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And this is why these other nations are able to come over here, and because Jake is cursed, but this is a part of the reason why they are able to come over here and excel as quick as they are, is because, they came together, and Esau, Edom, being the first enemy named in this Psalms 83. So that should tell you who's the head of it in the first place. They all, Esau, Edom are ruling the earth right now. Salagia. Esau, my throat a little dry. For verse 5, for with one mind they plot together. They form an alliance against you. The tents of Edom, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Ishmaelite, the so-called Arab, of Moab, the so-called Chinese, and the Hagrites, which are some of the so-called Africans, of Jabal, another so-called African, I believe, and Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and Amalek, Edomite, but they are the highest tent of the Edomites. They're the highest. They're the elect of the Edomites, the Amalekites, who are the so-called Jews, or how do I say, the small hats. I'm gonna just say that. Of Philistia with the people of Tyre, and even Assyria has joined them, lending strength to the sons of Lot. Right. So all of these people have had a hand in the downfall of Jake. Right. But this is why the Lord, when, the remnant that's left over, the 144,000 in the elect, this is why the Lord is about to allow us to come and fuck these nations up, And this is Micah chapter 5 and 7. The remnant left in Israel will take their place among the nations. They will be like dew sent by Yahweh, or like rain falling on the grass, which no one can hold back and no one can restrain. The remnant left in Israel will take their place among the nations. We will take our place. They will be like a lion among the animals of the forest, like a strong young lion among flocks of sheep and goats, pouncing and tearing as they go, with no rescuer in sight, meaning we're going to fuck them up. The people of Israel will stand up to their foes, and all their enemies will be wiped out. So, the Lord ain't playing with these other nations. All right. And we're going to shoot down to verse 15. I will pour out my vengeance on all of the nations that refuse to obey me. Right. So the Lord is going to allow us, when, all is said and done with Esau, Edom's kingdom, and we get took up in them so-called UFOs and the chariots, and we be changed. We're going to come back and we're going to give these nations, exactly what they gave us. We're going to do it righteously, though. And that's pretty much it, y'all. And with that, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next one.